Hi everybody, my name's Alana, and here at Classy on the Run, we usually talk about luxury makeup and luxury handbags. But today I'm so excited to have my friend Madeline over.
Hey girl!
This is her first time in my new house, and even more exciting, it's our first time filming together in person.
Oh my gosh.
I think we started doing this during the pandemic, and we were like filming it with like Zoom screens.
Yes, we have done some socially distant filming, that's for sure. And
but we're not distant.
I know, we're vaccinated.
We're both double vaccinated, and we're actually going out for dinner after this. We filmed a video on her channel. Not sure who's posting first or whatever, but when that's up, it'll be linked down below.
Yes.
Definitely check out Madeline's channel.
Yes, you can find me if you search Madeline Delamora, my full name, or Classically Contemporary.
We're very classic.
Was my blog, or is my blog name, and also at Madeline_DM on social media.
What's special about Madeline is she's not just a YouTube social media friend, but she's a real friend of mine. And we actually used to live an entire 3-minute walk away from each other.
Ah, the good old days.
And so that's why she needs to move up here where I live now in the suburbs.
But now we drive and we can get to each other regardless.
It's okay. It's okay. But we used to be 3 minutes away.
Yeah.
And so anyways, by the time you guys are seeing this, I'm actually going to be on my first vacation since the world ended. It's actually my first time leaving the country. I guess second time since my honeymoon, but the first time, like, we literally did a road trip to Ohio and visited a liger and then came home. Don't ask.
Wow, that's worth it. It's gonna be a good one.
I'm so excited.
Disney's 50th anniversary.
I know.
Oh my god.
I'm going. And so basically, Madeline and I wanted to have some time to film together. I do just want to say, before I get into the meat of what we're going to be discussing, that typically I'm reviewing high-end makeup and handbags, but today I just wanted to give you guys a chatty video. Earlier in the pandemic, we did a lot of just chatty lifestyle videos, and during, I mean, we're still in the pandemic, but at the time our goal was to just really feel like we're just all hanging out together in my living room. You've got a cup of coffee, I've got some tea,
yeah, like
maybe
low stress
wine.
Topics. Yeah, just chatting. I usually put these videos on when I'm like washing my makeup brushes.
Yeah, or if you're like cleaning your kitchen.
Exactly. I was literally gonna say the same thing.
That's what this video is for. So if you were looking for a makeup review, this isn't for you. If you just want to hang out with some friends, of course we do. You just want to hang out with some friends, come on down, let's chat.
It's almost like a podcast.
Right, like a podcast, but with pretty pink pumpkins in the background. Ta-da. Over there. And they're around.
They're everywhere.
Anyways, so the reason I wanted to share that very long, rambly introduction is because I'm going away. One thing I've been thinking a lot about is the concept of an Instagram husband. And Madeline and I have both struggled with this topic.
It's tough because you know what? A lot of
our partners didn't ask
to
be social media helpers.
And lots of people who are very successful online have support, whether it's like a paid assistant or like a partner who is a videographer or a photographer or like comes with transferable skills. So
mine's a tax lawyer.
And mine is just recently a doctor, so is now we both have very professional has been actually a doctor of philosophy for quite some time, but we have
a doctor and a lawyer
who are not exactly,
but who love us very much,
technologically the for us.
I was gonna say more creatively there for us.
In the technological space that we need, they're not enthusiasts.
Yeah, they're not gonna take like influencer Disney photos for us,
or like film a vlog for us, but
or happily participate in that.
Mine, Joe's been pretty good with actually like participating in the video, although sometimes he's a man of few words. He's still there.
Stuart tries, but I mean,
Stuart usually looks a little bit disinterested.
But look, at the end of the day, I think the thing that we have to keep in mind as content creators is that my husband and her husband-to-be, they didn't ask to be a part of this. It's not their dream job, and it's not their hobby, and it's not what they want to be doing.
Yeah, they support us, they love us, but it is.
Yeah, I have no question about the love and support.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to almost like rope them into when you're celebrating a vacation or a milestone together.
Yeah. Well, and so one thing I've really struggled with is sometimes I actually almost feel jealous of other content creators when I see their incredible like influencer photos. He's like, I look at them like when they're traveling, and I'm just like, why can't I have that? And so one of my solutions, which we were going to do today, which we might actually get to do because it's not raining.
I know, I was looking at the
It was
sun.
raining. It's looking like we might get to do this.
Yes.
But one of the things that, and I think it actually is something that really helped our friendship grow, is I think really of Madeline as my Instagram husband.
Correct.
Alana
so
this is my Insta
shoulder
husband
to lean on. She will get that shot. Our male counterparts won't.
When I say that we will get that shot, like sometimes Madeline's actually taken some of the most beautiful Instagram photos.
Thank you. You too. Oh my god, my main blog photo is like taken by my like profile photo. So all hail.
The talents I bring. But you know, and I say that in the most loving way, and that sometimes what we'll just do, and it was easier when we lived 3 minutes away, but we would just pick a nice sunny day, whether it was snowy or fall or whatever the theme was, and then we would just go and we'd book a little photo date.
Yes.
And photo dates would often involve dinner, and maybe a walk, but there'd be a good dedicated 20-minute chunk where we'd take photos. And I'm not the kind of girl who's like, okay, 2 pics, you look great. No, I'm like, no, you need to tilt your chin this way. I'm like, you need to tilt your chin, lean your body this way.
She'll be a good like director as well.
I'm aggressive about it. And then I'm also just there like, let's just get 8 more photos this way.
And I have to say, even when we're being directors, I do find that guys sometimes take it as like they've failed.
No.
But they haven't. It's just like you're working on a project together. So I find that to be hard in terms of communication.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, like, and I have to kind of like work up that skill too in anyone. It's like, I'm helping you help us and grow your talent. Like my sister, I talked about her as my editor. She was also my photography critiquer because I learned a lot of good tips from my sister, who's just kind of more of like an analytical person. She'd be like, try to get this, try to do that. And those things stick with you when you're behind the camera. So it's just working on it together.
And what's hard is like, you know, sometimes, and I don't mean to dump on men. Men are wonderful. They bring a lot to the table. But they'll just kind of take like 1, 2, and it's like, no, you need to take one like this, one like this, one like this.
Few
you need
angles.
to flip the angle. You gotta go all over the place.
It is hard when they're not exactly like exposed or immersed as we are.
Creative.
Yeah. but you know what? It's something that you can get better at. So it's just something, you know.
But also they don't necessarily.
You're working on it.
Also, you know what? Like, they don't need to be better at it. Like sometimes just phone a friend.
Yes.
And if, you know, and what I like to think is for me, like when I'm doing a photo shoot with a friend, like I give a lot, but I also expect a lot in return. Like I will take, you want 200 photos? I am your girl, but I need 200 photos back. And I don't say that to be like horseman
it has to be. Otherwise you have to pay the person. And that's the thing too, you can always find an amateur photographer who wants to build their repertoire, who could become a friend. Like that's pretty good if you're young as well. Maybe you're in university, maybe you have a friend, like that could be a great opportunity. Or if you're 2 creators who just want to like
honestly,
be mutually
the best
dependent.
thing to do is just find a creator that you can be kind of mutually dependent. We're going to talk about that on a different topic in a little bit, but finding a creator who you can take photos with is such a big help. And really someone who, like, you know, I know that if Madeline asked for me to take another photo, it's not a critique of me. It's just I didn't get the photo that she wanted.
Right.
And, you know what, it's her, like, for her content, it's her content, her channel, my content, my channel. We both have different things that we're looking for in our pictures. But, yeah, just finding a friend who can help. Because I find often with my husband that when it comes to taking photos of me, he'll take 2 or 3 and he'll be like, oh, I took some photos. And I'm like, right, like I was thinking 20 or 30.
And at the same time, like I've actually gotten really good at not taking too many, like if you're on vacation, this and that, because sometimes we are way too hard on ourselves, and like a photo that might look like on your little tiny viewfinder might not look perfect could actually become like your favorite photo. Sometimes those less posed, more, you know, authentic, candid photos are actually really great, but you have to kind of learn your content and like realize when life comes first and when you can kind of maybe deal with the pictures you have, but also respecting that like this is your hobby and you need support, and just explaining that to friend or family.
And I'm gonna get into that travel concept in a moment because I have some thoughts, but you know, I think the biggest thing is trying to let them know that it's not that my husband failed me with the photos he took, it's that sometimes maybe I feel maybe my eye is kind of like doing this, or
maybe
the
outfit's just not sitting right.
Right, or like sometimes like I'll find if I curl my hair that just by accident one side will end up in this like helix curl, and the other will be the soft wave. I'm like, no, like my hair is the problem, it's not you. Or like maybe the angle that I was standing at made me look bigger than I want to look, and
lighting,
and it's and again, it's not that you want to like look like the skinniest person ever, but like sometimes an angle you can be like, wow, I look like a baby panda, and that's not really what I was going for.
Or even just looking like taller, shorter, ugly. And those are things that you don't want to ever edit like in post-production, because like there's only so much you can edit out as well.
Yeah, so, and I'm only interested in updating the lighting.
Yeah, for sure. Or like if I have a hair that's just like really distracting.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna change like my face.
Yeah, you're
body.
not gonna stretch and pull and remove like a whole arm, because like it's just not gonna work.
But and it can be hard like when you're like
really bad.
So one thing I found kind of hard on our honeymoon. So we were incredibly blessed that through my channel, we got some comped hotels.
I know, I'm working on these. I'm thinking about this, but your experience is
so what I was actually the reason I wanted to do this video with you was like so I could give you some loving advice.
Yay!
Or like just like plant some ideas.
Yeah.
I don't really think that I need to give you an answer.
Right.
As much as like sometimes like honestly sometimes the best advice you can give your friends is just giving them questions to think about what do you want, right? It's not about saying like this is what you have to do. But one thing I found really hard on our honeymoon is we were very fortunate to be gifted some hotel stays. But when you're gifts like that, like they come with strings, and that string is content production. You're
working for it. It doesn't. We're not like the
free.
Queen of France. Like we need to.
Well, I don't know about you, but actually my husband's family were minor Scottish nobility a couple hundred years ago. So I did marry into the nobility.
Right. Did that give you the free stays for your?
No, it did not. But as a noble, as a member of the nobility, I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Of course,
as a commoner.
I'm just a layman.
But I did marry into the nobility.
Yeah, naturally. But it's true
Didn't
that
really get me anywhere.
When you're asking for something, you need to give in return.
Yeah.
Anything.
And one thing that was kind of hard is my husband, and he's not wrong. I mean, I wish I could just be like, he was so awful and wrong, but he was right.
Yeah.
It's that this is our honeymoon. It's a special time for us to just be together and focus on each other and love each other. And I was like, yes, but we got this hotel night for free, so I need like 20 minutes of some content production, and that's kind of a hard thing to balance. We got some beautiful images, we had a great time, but sometimes it's like when I look at our private moments or our trips that we're doing together, and I'm like, I want to vlog this, but then I'm like, he has no desire to vlog this. And
it's tough because I know,
and no one wants to spend their vacation like
behind the phone. I know.
Oh my gosh, you guys! So today we're in France, and there's actually the Louvre behind. Like,
it really does impact.
I want that.
Yeah, but like I would never be like a family vlogger, for example, because it just isn't the life I would want to lead.
Actually, let's talk about family vlogging after.
Sure, but I think. And on a vacation, like sometimes I will sort of like narrate different things I've done. I actually got a gimbal to like help me do that on future vacations. Oh, look, Alana has the
I bought the same one, and it's coming to Disney. I was actually influenced by you.
Yes.
This is my like influencer one.
I use this all the time for even filming like TikTok videos, because it's the adjustability of it. I don't use the actual like app to follow me. I just like use it as a really good tripod.
Love it.
Yeah, but anyways, having that, like, it just makes it easier for you. So make it as easy for you as possible if you do want to do that kind of thing. In the end, if you don't have someone who's an enthusiast, you gotta work for yourself, girlfriend or guy friend. Like,
friend.
You're in it to win it for yourself, and be proud of that. And it might be more difficult. You might not grow as fast because you don't have somebody being your producer, but
I should have just thought to marry a photographer rather than a tax lawyer.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that when I started dating him? But speaking of husbands, I have a husband. You only have a fiance.
That's true.
But you're gonna upgrade him.
One day.
Well, not one day, like you have a day.
You
have a day. You have a day.
Become concrete.
as a statue. You're going to cast him in a concrete statue.
And then the love died. No, I'm kidding. The romance. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
And then it's all downhill. No.
Yeah. To become one.
Look, for you get a whole year as newlyweds.
Yeah.
And then it's like, are you gonna have children?
I know the questions have started pouring in, but we're
Really?
fine. My grandmother's like, "You're next." I'm like, "Thank you." No, but you know what? Natural progression. We're both people who love families, who would love to have families one day beyond.
You have families. You have parents. You have siblings.
Our own family.
That is your own family. No, but yeah, I mean, for me, those questions, especially now that we've bought a house with 4 bedrooms and moved to the suburbs, which I'd like to be very clear. So this is one of, we're filming in one of the 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Once we have children, I'm not giving up this room.
Oh no.
Like,
you need your space, girlfriend.
This is my space, okay?
She works hard for her money. She works hard for her
this is
beauty
mine.
room.
And kiddo is not having this room. Yeah. But, you know, something, especially, I'd say 2 things, well, a couple of things have kind of brought me to develop a lot of opinions. I'd say one, you know, I think that as women, you're always sort of thinking, what's that next step? So when you're dating, you're thinking about, you know, not necessarily you're always thinking about engagement, but like once you're in a firm, loving relationship, you're thinking about getting engaged. Once you're engaged, like it's your job to think about the wedding.
Right.
Once you get married, then it's like, okay, like what's it going to be like when we have kids? I mean, look, I know that not everyone wants to have kids, but you know, I think I'd speak for both of us that, you know, we both love our families, we love children, we, you know, I think that we definitely view marriage as, and children as kind of a package deal.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be for others, but I think for both of us, like,
yeah,
you know.
Family is important.
Yeah.
So in terms of like integrating that into
and what's
life,
the point of having all the luxury handbags I have if I'm just gonna die one day and no one inherits my vintage Louis?
You need someone to inherit.
It's really a public
all
service.
the goods. Yeah,
I'm doing.
So I guess, yeah, that leads into the whole family online type, like, topic and how you feel about that.
And honestly, this is something my husband and I have spoken a lot about, and something that he's very apprehensive about.
Oh, yeah?
And also something that, you know, we saw the Huxley with Mika Stauffer, who, when she rehomed the child she adopted, like a puppy.
Yeah,
that you don't want
oh
anymore.
My God, that was terrible. I know people who might do things for their channel
views.
And
But I think that really brought family vlogging and it's the negative parts about it. Or I should say family vlogging. I'm not interested in being a family vlogger, but family content.
Family presence
into
online.
so
yeah.
Do you want to go first? Want me to go first? What are your thoughts?
So I think it's
no
great.
Pressure.
I know.
And what would you do once you have kids?
Absolutely. So it's hard to say because things change so fast online. But in terms of how we view social media, I find myself on social, like, it's a happy place for me. I surround myself with people who share real but like mostly positive stuff. If anyone I follow actually shares anything that's like a little bit too negative or like kind of triggering for me in terms of like anxiety and like too much negativity, I try to actually unfollow or remove that, just because that's not the place I go to for those topics, but it might be for you. So I'm talking from a personal standpoint.
And people can do what they want. I mean, I kind of agree though. Like, for me, like, I don't want to fill my online space with things that don't bring me joy.
For sure. Like, I don't want to see you complain. You can complain to me in real life, but like I try not to bring that energy online. Now, speaking about that kind of stuff, I find it to be a professional space for me online, and I go into the social media space with like a clear mind, and I try to put my most professional, still realistic self forward. I just don't see family being a part of that like professional presence. So it's all about me. That's something we talked about too.
Yeah, like but when we say it's all about me, I actually mean that in, again, the kindest and most loving way.
It's a content direction. Yeah, so I'll wrap up just by saying I try not to bring politics, religion, sports, 3 things that you're not supposed to talk about on your first date because they can be like very triggering topics for people or very polarizing topics. And for me, something like family is something that I actually just don't want to present to my audience, and that's my kind of barriers I've put up to protect myself from maybe unsolicited like unsolicited advice. So having a public platform right now, I would not feel comfortable putting another person out there without their, you know, spoken consent as well. So it probably wouldn't be the place. Like posting a cute family photo saying Merry Christmas is one thing, but I think like posting like the highs and lows of
for me it's
family is too much.
I wouldn't want to post anything that would embarrass my child.
And you don't know what would embarrass them. That's
well,
the thing.
I think the problem is like a lot of things that would embarrass them would get a lot of clicks, right? First periods, first time buying bras, you know, diaper explosions.
How is that your thing to show the world?
It's not yours to share.
Because as well, like I know I've seen a lot of there was one really cool campaign, I'll see if I can find it and we can link it, but it was kids commenting on their parents' photos, even being like, I don't like how I look in that, Mom. Why didn't you ask me? And they get to a point very early on too where kids actually might not think what you think is cute for them or is what they want.
And I think, I mean, so for me, I'll start by saying that in the same way that I said earlier that my husband didn't ask for, you know, to be on Instagram, my future unconceived wanted in the future but not wanted in this moment children won't ask to be online, right? Like and so the way I sort of think about it is two frames. One, and I don't want this to come across as selfish, because if anything I actually think it's the opposite. I think it's the most generous thing you can do. But my channel is about me, and when I started my channel it was about me and makeup, and as I've gotten older it's about me and luxury handbags and you know, and I'd like to include some of this kind of lifestyle content, but it's about me. And people
always comment on how brave we are for putting ourselves out there too. Like people are like, I can't believe you're on camera with no makeup on, and it's just become second nature to me because I have that level of confidence just in like, you're getting what you get. But
and honestly, like you know, sometimes I'll have no makeup on when I start filming, and like that's just what my face looks like. Sorry. But I'm actually not sorry. No, it's because that's my face.
We have to normalize feeling confident in our own skin, and I never feel like, oh, I should have done this. I should, like, when you put it out there, you put it out there, and just like that level of confidence definitely has to be reached.
You know, and so what I sort of think is one day when I'm pregnant, like I will share whatever I want about my pregnancy. That's about me, right? And any
products or
products that work for me, things that are hard, like things that I wish I knew.
That's very kind. Yeah.
You know, I will share whatever I think. Like I think once I'm pregnant, which will not be particularly soon. Yeah. But when that day comes, like to me, I can share whatever I want about my pregnancy. Like if it's hard, if it's great, if you know, if something doesn't go right, and you know, there's an unfortunate thing that happens, like maybe I'll share it, maybe I won't. But to me, I can share whatever I want about when I'm pregnant. And again, in that postpartum, like how my body's recovering, I'd share whatever I want. And then I think what I'll probably do, I could see myself doing sort of maybe like a 3, 6, 9, 12-month update on the baby, but not in a like embarrassing way, just sort of saying these are the developmental milestones, these are the products that have really worked for us.
Nice.
You know, maybe we're doing baby-led weaning. I don't know. I haven't decided that because I'm not pregnant. But you know, I think I would sort of share up until they're about a year old. Just, again, general, not specific, nothing embarrassing. Like, oh, at 6 months, they're crawling. Or, like, I don't know what babies do. I don't know. But, you know, I would share some general things like that.
And I think it's like another thing is to protect your like mental state. Like I think that would really be a driving factor as well, because there is such beauty and just like being in the moment for yourself. So I don't even know if I would get to that point where I would want to share like personal
and maybe you won't want to share.
Well, that's it. Like you can't feel pressure that like just because someone else is, you should too, or like you have to tell. Like it is quite beautiful to like take a trip and not tell anyone online, or like go, you know, do things just for you and to be fully present yourself. And that might mean, and like it's not bad if you don't share every moment
online, you don't have to share every moment. Like I mean, I would never do family vlogging, but you know, maybe would I do like a you know, morning routine with the baby? Like
it could be,
I think that could be kind of a fun video that would be again overwhelmingly focused on me. But like, you know, I'm not opposed to sharing like, you know, the baby in some clips,
some
or like
lifestyle content,
you know, sharing some lifestyle content, or you know, or like, you know, I think like maybe once my future kids are in school, like maybe I might share a video about, you know, and again, I don't know, like maybe I'll just stick with makeup and handbags. I don't really know. But you know, maybe I might share a video about like, you know, here are 5 lunch ideas that really work for us. And the video doesn't have to be about what does my 5-year-old feel about it? But I could say like, oh, like, the school my kids go to is nut free. So, so here are like 5 nut free lunch ideas, and little Timmy really likes the fruit kebabs.
And you know what's funny? I find the most value I get out of posting things online comes from friends and family who I know and who I want to share the info with. I love that I'm reminded that they're there via comments and share it and whatever. So I would even consider having like a private platform where I would share maybe all those like family photo book moments kind of just for them. I don't know if Instagram is the best place because you don't fully like own your content when you put it up there. That's just another thought. Like I would maybe get like a password protected like blog or website that I own. Just something to think about too.
I don't know
if
what it would be, but I just
security.
To me, I just think that like I think the guidelines I would take is that 1, I will always be the star of my channel.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to change.
Yeah, and 2, when it comes to my content, honestly, my content at its core is all about helping women, right? And so I think that there are content that you can share, in pregnancy and early motherhood that can help other women walking that same path.
For sure.
And I'd say my second guiding factor would be nothing to embarrass the child and nothing too personal about the child. So just nothing that, could embarrass them down the line.
Another thing, in terms of like security, if you think about all of those like security questions, where was your first town you lived in? What's your mother's maiden name? Who was your 3rd grade teacher? These are things that some people feel comfortable posting about their child, birth date, all these things, year of birth.
Even when we were living in Toronto, I was very open to saying we lived in Toronto because it's a city of like 3 million people.
Yeah,
but
you want to be careful.
Now that we've moved out of the city, I just say that we live north of Toronto.
And it's not as if we're
there's a lot
of
places.
Secretive.
There's a lot of places north of Toronto, right? North of Toronto, within the context of the GTA,
once you put something on the internet, you can never take it away from the internet. So I think just like being more careful is better because if you're posting things publicly, it will get into the wrong hands, like regardless of if you want it to
or there's
not.
that risk, right? And, and so I would just try to think like nothing too personal, nothing, and just nothing embarrassing. Like, I know some parents, think it's, and some creators think it's real and raw to share about like a diaper explosion and how they dealt with it, but you know what? Like when your kid's 14, they're not gonna find that cute. And I'm sure other moms will be like, oh yeah, it happens all the time. But like when your kid's 14, like that's not cute.
There are some things too, like one of my guiding principles online is like if I wouldn't say it to my grandmother, I'm not putting it on the internet. So like you can always have that in the back of your mind, like regardless of how, open you want to be, like it's never a bad thing to be slightly more like guarded with what you share because there's no takebacks.
No take. And and I just also just think that like I feel really bad for kids whose entire lives are captured online.
Because it could propel some kids into like a very vibrant future of stardom, but the like chance of that happening is so low that unless there is like some other reason to, I just don't think like a mommy vlogger will necessarily boost their kid into like Hollywood stardom from oversharing their childhood.
And I think the biggest thing, like, I think I would be totally down to do some mommy content, but I just wouldn't be interested in vlogging every step of the way. And like, again, like I even think like, would I want to vlog a family vacation? Like, the trip that I'm about to take, I'm going to vlog. I've spoke with my husband about it. He's on board. We've talked about kind of what our boundaries are. Like, for example, I've told him that when we go to Magic Kingdom, I want the first half hour when I'm still looking fresh and pretty to be all about photos in front of the castle.
Cute.
And after we've got that first half hour out of the way, I'm not saying that I'm not going to take photos the rest of the day, but I don't need like a photo shoot, right?
Yeah, it's not like every 10 minutes you need to take pictures.
We've had a good chat about like kind of the boundaries and what we want.
Maybe what you can give them in return. Maybe it's a dinner at their favorite place.
You know what the deal we struck? He told me that I have to buy him whatever food he wants at Disney.
There you go.
But you know what? that works for me, because to me Disney is all about it's just all about the whole experience, trying the different food. Like
Beautiful.
I actually, instead of making us dinner reservations for our evening in Epcot, they have their food and wine festival on. So instead,
Fun.
we're just going to walk around the world and just nibble.
I'm so jealous.
And then nibble.
I gotta go.
Although, so Madeline was on my bachelorette, which was at Disney, and we had a wonderful dinner in Morocco. That was a great dinner.
Really good. Actually, everyone, I follow Tyler Travels TV. Have you heard of him? Jessica Braun's husband.
Yes, I didn't realize.
Like,
I just know it was Jessica Braun's husband.
I know. He does videos, and he was saying, like, Morocco is one of the best restaurants, and he's, like, a travel agent for Disney mostly, so.
We had a
really
wonderful
good
dinner in Morocco.
My stomach is currently grumbling.
Well, we're gonna be having a wonderful dinner when we wrap this up. But, you know, so the kind of deal we made is that my husband wants me to buy him some crazy snacks at Disney, and you know what?
Right.
That's a deal I am willing
Monopoly
to make.
money.
Yeah, money's not real at Disney.
No.
It's also US dollars aren't real dollars.
No.
Right?
They all look the same.
Yeah, they all look the same, so it's they're all ones, none of them are 50s.
So funny.
Which reminds me, I need to take us some US cash tomorrow.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining us. I always love the opportunity to just chat about life here, and you know, I don't do videos like this too often, but when I do, it's usually with Madeline, and I think it's just such a fun way. You know, we've done earlier in the pandemic, we did these on Zoom together. This is our first time doing them in person.
Yay.
Which is beautiful. And again, we're gonna go out for dinner after, and you know, these videos, again, like this video is not particularly searchable or anything.
But share with a friend if it resonates with you.
Yeah,
and
this video is just like, you know, we're just all friends hanging out, you know, having coffee in my living beauty room. So anyways, I'm so excited for the next time you're here, because the beauty room will be done. I know a lot of you guys are keen for a tour, and we are almost there.
Yay.
But thank you. I'm just looking outside, the sun's going down. We're gonna take some pictures. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.